Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined here by my little guest. This is my 10-week-old daughter, Bryn. Today I'm going to be talking about how we sleep trained her. So when most people hear the term sleep training, I think that they think of cry it out, and that's not what I'm going to be talking about. We do not do the cry it out method with her. I personally think that 2 months old, that's way too young to be doing cry it out. And that's not the way that I choose to sleep train. So we're not going to be talking about that today. I just want to go through kind of our daily schedule and what we've done to get her sleeping through the night. She started sleeping through the night around 7 weeks old. So it's been about a month. And what I mean by through the night is typically she will be asleep from about 10:30 at night, wake up between 5 and 7 in the morning. So a pretty good stretch there. We do exclusively breastfeed. So I know it's a big myth. People say breastfed babies won't sleep through the night, but that's not true. She does, and my son slept through the night around 2 or 3 months old, and he was also exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months. So you can do it. Everybody's baby is different. I'm by no means a sleep expert, but I just want to share what we've done, and hopefully it will be helpful to you and give you some tips. So I think the biggest thing to get your baby sleeping at night is to establish a good routine during the day. You need to make sure that they're eating enough and getting enough calories so that they're not waking up hungry, and you need to make sure that they're not getting overtired. So good naps and a good feeding routine I think are very helpful. What I do for my baby's age is I research the sleep and wake times, and then I try to go by that. So what I mean by that is at 2 months old, the average wake time is 45 minutes to about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. So I know that by 2 hours of awake time, she needs to go down for a nap. Typically, after about an hour, hour and a half of being awake, she'll start showing some signs of being sleepy, like yawning and starting to kind of grunt and fuss. And I know for her that those are her tired cues. So when I see her start to do that, I go up to her room, change her diaper, and start getting her ready for the bedtime routine and put her down for a nap. And then for the naps, I don't let her sleep during the day more than 2 hours. If it's been 2 hours and she's still asleep, I will go wake her up. And the reason for that is just to not have her sleep too long, because then she misses out on the daytime feedings. And then it's more likely that she's going to be waking up at night because she's not getting enough calories during the day. So when I wake her up from a nap, typically she'll eat, and then we hang out for a little bit, and then she'll go back down for a nap, and we kind of just maintain that schedule, and it seems to work really well. Now, I don't keep it super rigid. If we need to go to the store, or we need to go out, or she just doesn't want to go to sleep, then I'm flexible with that. But I think by maintaining a schedule, it makes it pretty easy, because she's usually tired, and she'll usually go to sleep, and then she'll wake up and be hungry. I think the important part is about reading your baby's cues and kind of figuring out what they need, and then kind of adjusting the schedule to your baby. But maintaining that good daytime routine is going to set you up well for nighttime sleep. There are some things I do when I put her down for her nap or put her down at night that set us up for that good routine as well. One thing I like to do is close the blinds. She has blackout curtains in her room, make it dim, and I will swaddle her. We use the Halo sleep sack, the Swaddle Me Pod, or the Swaddle Me Swaddle Wraps. Those are what I prefer to use. It's easier than a blanket, and she doesn't break out of it, and that really helps her to sleep well and not be thrashing around or having that startle reflex. So I highly recommend swaddling from day one, getting your baby used to it. Even if they seem like they don't like it, like if they kind of move and shake around in it, I found that only lasts for a few minutes, and it really does help them sleep. So I would highly recommend getting them used to that from day one home from the hospital. So I'll swaddle her, give her her pacifier, and then put her in her crib. One thing that I have done with her also from day one is put her down in the crib drowsy but not asleep. I do not rock her to sleep. I don't nurse her to sleep. I put her down drowsy but awake. So what I mean by that is she'll be kind of, having the heavy eyelids, yawning a lot. Like you can tell she's in that sleepy mode, but she's not out cold. The reason for that is because I want her to learn those sleep habits, the self-soothing habits from early on to be able to put herself to sleep. I made the mistake with my first baby of always nursing him to sleep or rocking him to sleep, and then when he got a little older, around 6 months to a year, it was impossible to put him to sleep. He had to have my husband or I in the room, and literally it got to the point where we had to sneak out, like crawl out on the floor, because if he saw us leave, he would wake up, and it was really hard, and it was terrible, and it was really hard to get him out of that. So I don't want that for her. I don't want to establish that dependency on that. So I always just put her down drowsy. I have from day one. She doesn't cry usually. If she does, I'll obviously go back in the room and give her pacifier if she spit it out. Or I'll stand there and kind of rub her head. She really likes to have her forehead rubbed. I'll sing to her. If she gets more into the crying or inconsolable stage, then obviously I'll pick her up, rock her a little bit, and just get her into more of a happy mood, into more of that drowsy state, and then I'll lay her down again. Like I said, I don't let her cry it out. If she's grunting or just kind of fussing, kind of moving back and forth, I will just watch her in the baby monitor and let her do that. But if it gets to the point that it becomes crying, then obviously that is when I will go into her room and try to soothe her. Talking about crying and then you start crying. What's up with that? All right, so I needed to feed her, and now she's sitting over there in her swing. So if you see me keep looking that way, that's why. Okay, so the next thing that I do is I wake her up for one last dream feed or sleepy feed at night. So usually she will go down to bed at 7:30, and then I will wake her up again between 10 and 11 to feed her one more time and change her diaper. And then she'll get that long stretch and not wake up until 5 to 7 a.m. I will go into her room, change her diaper. I don't turn on the lights. I keep everything dim. We do have a night light just so I can see a little bit. I will unswaddle her, change her, swaddle her back up, feed her, and lay her back in bed. I don't talk to her, play with her, tickle her. I'm trying to keep her as asleep as possible. So I want to keep her kind of drowsy, but just get her one last feeding just to get her through the night so that she's not waking up hungry. You don't want to be playing with them. You don't want to be, getting them all riled up, waking them up a whole bunch. Just awake enough that they'll eat and then go back to sleep. But again, after I feed her, I always still try to lay her back down drowsy, not completely out cold, so that she can fall asleep on her own. The other thing that we have done from day one is had her sleep in her own bed. So the reason that I think this is important is just establishing that place for naps. That's their place. So we don't co-sleep and we don't have our baby sleep in our room. That's just a personal decision. The way our house is set up, it's really nice because our master bedroom is directly across the hall from the two kids' bedrooms. So we're very close. We use an owlet and we have a video baby monitor so I can keep close track of her. But I do have her sleep in her own room. I just think everybody sleeps better that way when she's in her room, in her crib. And then that way we don't have to worry either about transitioning her later. So as soon as we came home from the hospital, she went to sleep in her crib in her own nursery. So I think in their room, to set them up for successful sleep, the things that you need are obviously a safe sleep environment. So either a bassinet or a crib, no loose blankets, no stuffed animals, all that stuff. We all know that. I don't believe in using the DockATot or any of those other pillows. I don't think they're safe for sleep. So I don't use that in my daughter's crib. Again, it's a personal decision. If you choose to use that, I'm not shaming you. I'm not judging you. I just don't feel comfortable using that for my daughter to sleep in. She has a mobile hanging that I will turn on that she likes to watch. Then we have the Sleep Sheep. That is her noisemaker where we turn on the ocean sound. White noise, swaddling, dim room, safe sleep environment, and putting your baby to bed drowsy are all the things that I use when I lay my daughter down that I think help her to have a successful nap or a successful night's sleep. And then just maintaining that schedule during the day, but also being flexible and not getting too hung up on it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or leave them in the comments down below. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video.